happening is the storm's just sitting there, and they're saying that it's tornado warned. I don't know if it's put down a tornado right now, but basically it's a little bit to the southeast of us.
We've waited a long time for this.
Heavy rain and flooding down right now.
To come to Tornado Alley to photograph big storms.
We got a big one right on us.
Look at this guy.
That's big.
To capture video of a tornado up close.
The guy in the radio is saying they're about to adjust the warning back for Tahoka. Are we sure we want to keep going straight?
So here we are, about 30 miles south of Lubbock, Texas, dodging giant hailstones beneath an overpass with a tornado on the ground, wondering how did we get here?
I'd stay back here, Jeff.
Okay.
It's going to come from that direction.
After following storm-chasing twin sisters and their dad all over the Texas Panhandle.
But you'll be amazed as these get closer to us, some really cool features are going to come out.
We've driven hundreds of miles through abandoned towns.
This is like a photographer's dream right here.
Stopped at strangely named convenience stores and raced down dirt farm roads to get closer to supercell storms.
Woo!
All to end up here.
We are trying to avoid softball-sized hail or tennis ball-sized hail or any hail that a ball is used to describe.
In the growing list of bad ideas, this one is now rapidly moving to the top.
Yeah, this is blowing really hard.
When you travel, the world becomes a smaller place. When you explore with friends that share a love of photography, destinations come to life. We tell the stories of travel with our cameras, capturing some of the most beautiful locations on Earth. But every adventure reveals more than what's in the frame. The people, the food, and unexpected turns of the journey bring the full experience of travel into focus.
Production funding for Outside Beyond the Lens provided by the Fresno Clovis Convention and Visitors Bureau. Nature, diversity, found in the heart of California's San Joaquin Valley. Fresno County, an outside year-round playground. By Gar Titillion, crop care advice, products, and services. Farms feed families, public television feeds minds. By BK Lighting and Tekka Illumination, helping brighten the world with custom landscape and architectural lighting solutions. By Integrated Agribusiness Professionals, members building healthy families and communities to feed your heart and soul. And by Valley Air Conditioning and Repair, family-owned for 50 years, proud to support Outside Beyond the Lens and the wonders of travel. And by viewers like you.
This is the middle of America. A place where abandoned towns are slowly fading away. Where the windswept plains meet agricultural lands. And where, every spring, some of the most intense storms on Earth strike.
Oh my gosh.
Southeastern Colorado and the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas. Not an area you'll find high on most travel bucket lists unless you have a healthy obsession for severe weather and a love for exploring the forgotten spans of America. Keith Labatz and his twin daughters Alyssa and Brittany have that obsession. For the last 7 years, they've been flying from their home in Sacramento, California to Denver, Colorado, where they gear up and drive into Tornado Alley to chase storms.
I used to chase storms as a kid on my bike, and I actually would get in trouble because I climbed on my parents' roof and would spot storms. And I used to climb up trees. You know, we looked out towards the Sierra Nevada, and at night I could see the lightning flashing, so I was always intrigued with that.
So our dad is the one that usually picks the main zone where we're heading, And then once we get into that zone, me and Brittany hop on the radar and really navigate us right into place. And then we usually let him do the driving once we're in chase mode, because he's okay with driving a little bit more fast than us. We're such a team, and end up always being on the same page. Like when we're in that kind of high stress mode in the middle of the chase, like we all trust each other and we know each other so well that we really kind of strategize with each other and bounce off each other. So it's a really cool dynamic we have.
This is for breakfast, could be lunch, if we're in the mood for hot food. Stop on the side of the road, fire it up.
This is like the one time of year we get M&Ms, and these are like what I stress eat when we're like in the middle of the chase. I'm like, all important shower shoes that we have to wear like when we're showering at a hotel or a campground. So with my broken ankle, it's not easy for me to just hop out of the car and view stuff. So I've been in the car a lot, which has been totally different.
Storm chasing is about 90% driving with no plan or idea of where you'll be sleeping at night. So stocking up on road trip essentials and gear for potential car camping is step one to a successful chase.
Sometimes it's nice to get some vegetables.
With our 2-car team headed south into Oklahoma now, we begin to see signs of how dangerous these supercell storms can be.
This is hail. This is probably, what'd you say? Normally what you do is you put a quarter or something so you can gauge the size, but I'd say that's what, about 1.25 inches maybe? Yeah, that's some nasty stuff. Feel like cold wind? That's outflow. That's coming out from the storm. So all that hot air that rises comes back down real chilled. All the energy's taken out of it. It's cold.
We decide to drive 30 miles east to Guyman, Oklahoma for the night. A massive thunderstorm to our south is putting on an impressive light show now. A powerful opening act to what should be a busy day tomorrow, with the National Weather Service forecast pinpointing our exact location as one of the most likely places in the United States to be hit by tornadoes.
I'm still thinking we're in the right area here around the Cap Rock. Turkey, I'm not sure.
With a good night's sleep under our belts, we continue to head south as our first full day of storm chasing is now on. We've moved from Oklahoma south into the Texas Panhandle, headed towards Lubbock.
Do you think that this will skim to the east of us as long as we keep trekking north?
Keith constantly monitors the National Weather Service and the SPC Outlook, the Storm Prediction Center forecast for convective activity in the atmosphere. Every spring in this part of the country, warm, moist air from the Gulf of Mexico pushes north into the Plains states and Midwest. When a colder, drier storm pushes southeast from the Rockies and slams into the hot, humid air, thunderstorms erupt along the line between the two air masses, and if the storms are violent enough, tornadoes can form. How many tornadoes have you guys seen? I don't think I've ever asked that question.
Probably maybe 15.
Yeah. I'd say about 15. The reason I'm vague on that is because a couple times we were actually staring at one and we discovered that after reviewing the footage.
Yeah.
You know, tornadoes are relatively rare events, so obviously we're seeing all the outtakes on whenever you see these videos. And as you are well aware, that's the end product of days, weeks of doing what we're doing right now.
Exactly, and I think that's an important thing to remember is that the reason you're out here isn't just to chase down and hopefully, I mean, it is to see a tornado, right? We all want to see the tornado, but that's a rare event even when you're out here chasing them. And that really, for you guys, it sounds like this is just more of a love of the nature of weather, the power of weather. I mean, thunderstorms are amazing things, and you're getting to see America's back roads while you do it with your family, right?
You nailed it, Dad. That's exactly, yeah. Tornadoes are kind of a little blip of like all the amazing small towns we get to go through, the light shows, the lightning shows at the end of the night, the people we meet, yep, the huge
storm systems that sometimes don't put out tornadoes, but they put out the huge hail, and I mean, it's
Cows,
all, yeah.
birds, everything.
It's all incredible. So we're always hoping that we see something extreme, but if we don't, it's never a letdown.
Now just 30 miles outside of Lubbock, Keith has been closely watching the formation of 2 supercell storms to the west.
And so we're kind of sitting towards the lower third, but
You got a big one right on us.
He and the twins have decided that these 2 systems are worth a closer look.
we're just looking out here and this cell coming our way that's putting out that lightning. It just dropped this nice hard edge, and we're looking at it and go, well, what's going on? Mesa cyclone is basically where the storm starts rotating, and that's a key component of any tornadic supercell.
On the radar here, you can see this is a storm signature, but this means there's rotation there, that little blue diamond. So you can actually click on it, and it'll give you all of its stats here.
We just got that one severe warned, look,
Perfect.
on the south. So now all 3.
Yeah, that.
Remember? I was saying that.
Was the one
I think this is the next one.
Where are
He's
we?
in.
Where are we in relation to all this?
Right.
We're the blue dot.
We're the blue. We're here.
And then that's where all this stuff
Yep.
is, right at us.
Mm-hmm.
And we're cool with that, right?
Yep.
This is
We're
okay.
cool with it.
coming
They're
towards us.
they're coming towards us, but they're going slow, and
And we got
we're.
this, see this nice clear slot here?
Yeah.
That's our safety net.
The radar is so important, but we use so much visual feedback and tools when we're chasing, especially when we get this close in. So we can sometimes spot what's going on before the radar even updates, because there's a little bit of a lag with this. So it gives us good, maybe confirmation of what we're seeing, but we use our eyes probably more than the radar once we start really honing into the storms we're chasing.
A line of severe thunderstorms is now marching directly toward us. Lightning strikes and thunder are getting closer, and the clouds are taking on bizarre shapes.
So what am I seeing up here with these clouds that are doing these big dimples? Is that just it's cool? There's nothing necessarily that we need to worry
it's
about.
kind of a mammatus. I think
almost
there's a
looks like
little bit of
mammatus.
a little bit of a cool layer going under there,
Okay.
so they are sinking a little bit.
Okay.
So what you're seeing, it's kind of a boiling look, but that's I don't know, it's nothing significant. Stuff you want to watch are those nice big flat bases, that lowering section that I pointed out.
Yep.
It's we'll see what happens with that.
Right. I'm keeping my eye on that thing because it looked like a little tornado dimple coming down.
Yeah, well,
Is that what they do? Do they just keep going and all of a sudden they get going?
No, usually what happens is get the lowering. It does kind of happen like that, and it concentrates to a point. But there's a theory actually that tornadoes may, this is controversial, but some meteorologists are actually saying that tornado genesis could actually initiate from the ground up.
Like a thermal.
Like
Kind of like, kind of like a dust devil or
It's a
water
thermal.
spout. Yeah,
a thermal starts on the ground and then vortices the reverse of that.
Yeah, it's a different mechanism,
Yeah.
but I think,
Wherever or however tornadoes form, the storm to the south of Lubbock is now beginning to show real strength and all the indications that it could spawn our first twister of the hunt.
The atmosphere is ripe for a tornado in the next hour or two. And this storm is the only thing on the horizon, so my take on it is this is the guy, and we're going to try to get behind him because he's moving slow.
Being so close to a major city like Lubbock, Texas means the network of roads close to the storm is good. Having a safe route to approach, and more importantly, escape a large storm, has to be mapped out before moving on.
All the models are saying the atmosphere right now is ripe for tornadic activity, ripe for a tornado. You've got a massive storm that's lighting up all the radars. We can see how big and crazy it is. It has all the features of the kind of storm that usually spawn tornadoes, and we're lined up to be in the perfect area. John, pan around to the front real quick. I don't know if you have to fix your exposure real quick, but you can see daylight, so to speak, on the other side of it. And this freeway or this interstate that we're on, highway, whatever it is, it's going to take us right along the clear air. So we're gonna be able to stay out of the really heavy rain and hail. get around the back end, and on the back side of these storms is where the tornadoes drop.
So safety is our number one concern. We don't obviously want to die or get injured or even have the car damaged by something like hail. So we're constantly, all three of us are always watching the sky, like for visual signs of anything dangerous, and we're always on the radar looking out what's right around us and also zooming out to the bigger picture, making sure there's nothing coming up behind us so that we're not driving right into hail or something dangerous. So we always have our eyes open for that, all three of us.
We're such a team, and end up always being on the same page. Like when we're in that kind of high stress mode in the middle of the chase, like we all trust each other and we know each other so well that we really kind of strategize with each other and bounce off each other. So it's a really cool dynamic we have.
So we have a tornado warned area in Tahoka, which is directly south of us. We're driving basically straight to it right now.
Okay, copy that. So tornado warning in place for the small town of Tahoka in just south of us. Copy that.
All right, here we go.
Well, now we've turned into the storm, so it's getting real now. It's getting real because we got a tornado warning on the ground now, been issued by the Weather Service. So everything's happening. People are now pulled out. They're pulled over under the overpass. People are just hanging out under the overpass now, waiting for the hail. They know something we don't. Apparently, we're going to keep driving. Heavy rain and flooding down right now. Are we the only ones on the freeway? Why are all the locals pulled over and hiding?
Not going this way. We're going in the belly of the thing.
I don't think I've ever seen rotation so huge like that. What is that?
The closer we drive towards the storm, a noticeable shift in attitude begins to happen within each of us. The excitement of chasing something turns into the realization that this storm is about to bite back.
It's thrilling right now. We're a little excited. I think the octaves of my voice have raised just a little bit. The tornado warning, you know what, let me check something real quick, because while we were driving right there, we received a tornado warning from the National Weather Service, and I just want to check something. We got crappy cell coverage here, so that's a good way to not know what's going on. Yeah. So what's happening is that the back part of this storm is doing all the things that it's supposed to do before a tornado drops. Wisely, Keith and Brittany and Alyssa have chosen to kind of pull back and just like not be too aggressive and charge into that thing. Right above us. That's gonna be. That's called lightning really close to you and thunder.
Keeping our eye on this area and this area right here too.
What happens next in our inaugural storm chase is exactly how even seasoned storm chasers get in trouble or worse. We used the highway system to successfully outmaneuver the storm so we could approach it from behind. The problem is that supercell storms like this are unpredictable, and as we race toward the system, it stops its forward movement entirely and stalls out.
Man, there's heavy lightning and heavy straight line winds really smacking us right now,
causing us to overrun the back of the storm just as it drops a wedge tornado 1 mile from our location. Making matters worse, this tornado is severely rain and dust wrapped, making it invisible from our side of the storm.
Say that again without cutting off in the microphone. Did you say a tornado's on the ground?
It said on 106.5 on the radio station, there's a tornado on the ground. They said for the past 30 minutes.
Just a few miles away, on the other side of the rain and dust shield, veteran storm chaser Max Olson captured this footage of the tornado on the ground.
Wow. Oh my God.
Storm chasing has turned into a very popular activity for weather enthusiasts, television shows, and is still an important way for the National Weather Service to study and observe tornadoes.
All right, roll.
Back in Tahoka, we've gotten as far as we can before our cell coverage goes down, making the radar apps we depend on useless.
What's happening is the storm's just sitting there, and they're saying that the tornado, basically it's a little bit to the southeast of us, and they're just monitoring it until it either moves more east or the rotation dies down.
Knowing there's a tornado on the ground less than a mile away that we can't see, survival instincts kick in, and we decide to make a run for it.
Are we sure we want to keep going straight?
Just thinking we need to get out of here.
Yeah. We got to get out of here.
I'm engaging way too much to this episode, man.
I know, dude. I'm not happy right now.
Okay, hey, look, here's what's happening. We're getting pinched. There's a little hook area. We're getting pinched, and as it's moving around us, we can either go north or what? What is this?
South to
Southwest.
Tahoka and then
Yeah,
west.
It's kind of an even call, but we got to get the hell out of here.
There's nowhere to hide here either right now.
We're turning around.
Big line down here.
About 3 miles to the east, storm chaser Max Olson tracks the tornado as it moves through open fields and finally dies out.
There it goes.
Luckily, no damage to property or injuries were reported with this twister. As we retreat back to Lubbock for the night, rattled nerves and lessons learned are discussed on the ride into town.
Yeah, I'm usually avoiding weather like this. This is really weird to just get as close as we can to it. But it's stimulating for sure. And I'm not scared, but I guess I'm a little scared, but
One of the things I really love about this annual trip is spending time with my two daughters. Of course, as a father, I'm very proud of them, and I'm seeing an aspect of them, an adventure side, the ability to deal with stress and make great decisions. I'm finding I rely a lot on their judgment, and I'm just really proud of the way they conduct themselves in every aspect of this chase, but they're also fun.
My personal favorite part about storm chasing isn't even the chasing itself. That obviously I love that, but my favorite part is going through all the small dying towns, driving on new little highways we've never been on. I love all those little seemingly insignificant things, and that's what I think of when I think of storm chasing, actually.
That's at least half the fun, because you're in a car on these small roads literally the entire day. I mean, we do like 12-hour driving days, and so we end up seeing these really cool old dying towns, and we usually take a minute to hop out and check it out. So that's actually a huge part of our storm chasing. The storms, in the big scheme of things, are actually a pretty small part of what we do on our trips.
The discovery of a part of America most people only see from the window of a plane 7 miles up is an adventure in itself when storm chasing.
I think just the history of it, like you said, a lot of these graveyards are really old, and this is like the town cemetery. I mean, so you just wonder what these people's lives were like, and back when this area was more booming with the agriculture, and just kind of like, I don't know, it's just kind of an interesting window into the past, I suppose.
The big thunder boomers don't usually fire up until late in the day, so moving towards the storm zone takes you through sprawling plains, forgotten towns, and landscapes of surprising beauty. But as the late afternoon sun heats the earth and humid air rises quickly into the colder atmosphere, the cycle begins again, and in just minutes, clear blue skies erupt into towering plumes that begin their slow march through Tornado Alley.
Every year is different, and it almost seems like every year gets better. I don't know if that's really true, to be honest, but It's really great when you find an experience and every year you go, it's like, wow, can't top that. No, can't top that. We've never been disappointed. Even in the years where there's been slow weather, we find interesting people. We find weird critters at night, strange situations, amazing towns. There's so much to see in this part of the country, and it's so overlooked. And we've really developed a passion for Tornado Alley. It's really an adventure. Every year is different, and I don't really see that changing. I don't think we're ever going to run out of options and possibilities, so I have no plans to quit.
Production funding for Outside Beyond the Lens provided by the Fresno Clovis Convention and Visitors Bureau. Nature, diversity, found in the heart of California's San Joaquin Valley. Fresno County, an outside year-round playground. By Gar Titillion, crop care advice, products, and services. Farms feed families, public television feeds minds. By BK Lighting and Tekka Illumination, helping brighten the world with custom landscape and architectural lighting solutions. By Integrated Agribusiness Professionals, members building healthy families and communities to feed your heart and soul. And by Valley Air Conditioning and Repair, family-owned for 50 years, proud to support Outside Beyond the Lens and the wonders of travel. And by viewers like you.